guest today. We have Paul Nicholas from Australia. Paul actually stayed late. Like now, what time is it in your place, Paul?
It's one in the morning. So Friday night / Saturday morning for me. So probably be out late anyway, but I decided to stay up.
Man, and yeah, it's incredible. Like you've done basically you scaled your business from 300K per month when we first connected and you joined ESS. And Paul now has done 1.5 mil this month, which is quite substantial. Scaling.
Yeah, I mean, like it's been quite a big jump for us. We probably when we first joined was right when I quit my full-time job and kind of did that first podcast, or juggling full-time work and the business. And then since quitting, I think giving more time to the business has obviously helped. We had a few months where we were kind of pretty steady and weren't increasing, but we knew that if we just kept doing the work, it would eventually, the results would eventually come. So we had quite a big upturn, like probably November, and then we've been gradually building up since.
And that's good. So you're using funnels in your business, right?
Correct. So, I mean, we have one main health store, which is all through Shopify, but we use advertorials and we obviously use upsells, and we try and make each product that we run ads to a funnel. And then we basically created a new store probably about 3 or 4 months ago, selling a product we actually found someone else selling it with Taboola ads and Untapped on Facebook. We made same thing, an advertorial using ClickFunnels, sales page, and their sort of custom checkout. And that one's doing really well. That was like really profitable for us. Just selling to Australia. So we're actually getting ready to flip it to the US and Germany. And
so
UK.
all of your stuff has been only to Australian market?
So the main health brand isn't. That's worldwide, and that will probably do about 750,000 this month. And then the other one, which is just to Australia, will also do around 750,000 this month. So when we flip it to the US, because US is 15 times bigger than Australia, we think we can definitely do 100K, 200K days with this particular product.
Nice.
So we're just getting everything ready for that, like payment processes, cash flow, factories, all that kind of thing. Because we've obviously never done 100, 200K days. So that's what we're prepping for. In probably March or April, we'll flip it over.
So when was the biggest jump, right? Like for you in terms of 300K, like what was kind of like the next benchmark, like as you started kind of like scaling. So what were the biggest moves you think that allow you to kind of like to get that growth?
I mean, it happened probably around, we had like a really strong June and July, and then August and September, similar revenue, but a little bit lower profit margin. And we probably got hit a little bit with iOS. It wasn't too bad, but we didn't do as well as what we would have liked. And then really October and November was when our health brand started picking up again, and when we found a new product. So I think the biggest thing in resurrecting the health brand, because it's the same products we've been running for basically 2 years, is just better creative testing structure. So I think one issue, we always tested a lot of creatives, but we were really rigid in our approach, always testing very similar style of creatives, whereas we kind of started throwing shit at the wall, really trying to test left field as well as doubling down on what was working. And then we found a few formats that cut our CPA in half. And then that let us really scale up. And that was a product we were running for 10 months.
So you cut your CPA, but with creative, so literally new piece of creative, and your cost per purchase decreased twice?
Yep. Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, we were getting $4 CPAs on a $70 AOV, and then we were getting $20 CPAs with this new creative format. So we just doubled down on that. We got 10, 15, 20 winning creatives in that format, and then that allowed us to scale up. But I think for me, like I definitely thought that particular product had sort of capped out, and that brand was needing a new sort of front end product. But it just showed to me how important creative strategy is, because the right creative means you're getting high quality audience. Like Facebook's showing your creative at the top of the market to people who are going to buy. The CPMs we saw like half of what we were getting with our regular creatives we were running. It was just like a night and day difference. So yeah, that was the biggest one with the health brand. And then the new funnel, I think that was just like additional experience we'd gotten in the previous sort of like year and a half since we've been doing it. We wrote a really good advertorial. We did a really good sales page, a great funnel with a great offer. And then that one was like the easiest thing we've ever scaled. And like we were doing sort of $40,000 a day just to Australia, which is $20 million.
Wow, crazy
people in that market only. So it's like, yeah, we really think we can push that product hard. So we're just preparing that because it's more of a summer product. We're going to prepare that for sort of April, May, June, July in the US.
Awesome stuff, man. So we have a question here. Do you test products in regular Shopify product page? When it works, you switch to funnels, or you start from the beginning with funnels?
So this is something we've been playing around with. As it stands now, we'll test with ClickFunnels because we think it's just a better sales page to check out without all the rest in between. Is just a better flow for the customers. But we do test with just a sales page now and no advertorial and no pre-sell. And if we can get reasonable like CPA with just the sales page, we'll then work on the advertorial. So we were testing products with everything, but I think that's too many moving pieces at the start, especially if you're unsure about a product. And it will convert with just a sales page anyway, if the offer's right. And then I guess the pre-sale is kind of like the cream on top where you can drop your CPA by another 20 or 30%. So that's our testing methodology now. So we'll do like long form sales page to a ClickFunnels checkout. And then,
can you break that down? Let's say long form, like if people would like to kind of like replicate this, like, so long form sales copy, like who writes the copy, right? Also,
I was still writing the copy, but now we've hired a freelance copywriter to do it in the format.
You've been writing the copy.
Yeah, so I mean that was like one of the things I liked doing. So I was writing the copy for the sales pages and the advertorials, but as the business has scaled now, like that's just unfeasible. So we've hired like a freelance copywriter to take over that. And yeah, I mean, there's a specific format that we do it in. It's very similar to like if people go and browse like Taboola ads like on MSN or Yahoo or something. There's the company DFO and the way they structure their sales pages for like those products like the Star Scope and like they sell the air conditioner every year and like all those we structure it very similar to that. So yeah.
Man, that's wow. That's I think that's very inspiring for a lot of people that you can do. I mean, I've been telling these people for years too. Like, I mean, the funnels, right? Like, you don't need kind of like have a general store like testing, 50 products a day, and like having obviously for all of that you need like a big team and like a lot of management and stuff like that. You can keep stuff simple, right? As long as you are focusing. I mean, your average order value is a bit higher, like about $100.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good example of like what the custom checkout can do. Is a single unit of this product is $49, but with ClickFunnels now got an AOV of 115.
Wow!
Because we make the 3 bundle a really good offer, and that's pre-selected. So 70% of people take the 3 bundle. We've got your sort of like expedited shipping trick. 50% of people take that. And then because we're really trying to sell hard for this particular product, we've actually got 5 post-purchase upsells after the purchase. So with multiple units available on the upsells. So they're converting really well too. So we've sort of managed to go from, $49 to 115 by structuring the offer in a particular way. And we've really just, I mean, that's not like original. We've just copied that from DFO. We went and bought one of their products and we went through the whole funnel. And we saw how they structured everything, and we pretty much just duplicated that to our business.
For sure. So for people who don't know like what pre-sales are, right? Can you kind of like explain what the pre-sale is, like advertorial, those things basically?
Yeah. I mean, pre-sale is kind of just if you see like a regular ad and you click on it, you're going to a regular product page. That would be the normal way to do things. I guess a pre-sale is almost like a page where you're kind of, you can do a few things, but it's like an education piece for the customer that comes before the selling of the product page. So it can be done with like an advertorial, which is a fake newspaper article that's actually sort of selling your product. It can be done with like, you kind of see a more branded approach with like maybe like a 5 reasons why people are buying this product.
Yeah.
And then something with very aggressive like direct response marketers, there are people that do a video sales letter or like a VSL as the pre-sell product page. So yeah,
maybe I'll show like on screen, right? So this is very simple example of like the pre-sale, right? Like, so
yeah,
like Javi Coffee, I mean, they're also doing good numbers. So you can see 5 reasons. So before people see the product page, like you drive basically all of the traffic to this page. So you kind of like warm it up. So before people even click to the product page, they already like you create higher and more of the reasons like why people should buy. Because if you drive here, I mean, it's obviously it has some good content, like it's not convincing enough, right? So if you are selling the product, you know, sometimes, you know, we're selling products that other people selling or very similar. So we want to differentiate. We want to create some like more desire. And as Paul said, like DFO, I mean, these companies that's running like literally hundreds of different offers, hundreds of brands, that's what they do as well. This is like the structure that they consistently like replicate with every new offer. So, and we've been using this for like last like 3 years, and it's been working very well as well. Like with higher average order value, especially because if you drive someone to high average to like higher price product straight from the ad to the product page, you know, it's kind of like the conversion rate on that will probably not be as high as and as high as like, you know, you do that extra mile of extra like effort to convince people.
Yeah, exactly. I think like another couple of things we discovered is sending them to an advertorial because people scroll on it for longer. That then sends like a high quality score back to Facebook, which actually just lowers the CPC in general. So you know, versus a product page where a lot of people see it, it's selling straight away and they bounce. So yeah, I think it's becoming more of a thing even with brands. They're starting to do it as well. Because, you know, iOS everyone's gone up, so people need to like incorporate a little bit more direct response into their marketing. So I think it's a pretty commonplace for everyone, basically.
Cool, man. So awesome. So in terms of the, let me see, we have other questions. What advice would you give to people doing low 6 figures looking to enter the 8-figure club?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's probably like the thing that we did was figure out like what we're good at, what we're weak at. So we had a bit of a period where we were kind of spam testing a little bit, and our like skills at in system building, say someone like Wowder who is really good at that. So we kind of went away from what we're good at. So really figure out what you're good at. If you're weak in areas, try and partner with someone who is strong where you're coming from. You know, if you can't find a partner, then sort of source for those roles. But really just double down on what you're very, very good at. So for us, it was like sales pages, direct response creatives, and then finding and creating realtors. So I've got a business partner that takes care of all the operations. So all I can do is think about that. That would be my advice from 6 to 8. Figure out what the bottleneck is, and basically you work on that by either hiring, partnering up with someone, or if last resort is just getting good at it yourself. But you want to double down, be predisposed to. Yeah, I mean, I think like it's really just like breaking down the skill set in e-com. Like it's media buying, it's offer creation, it's copy, creative, and then once you've got all that ticking, everything's in that team. Really, there's nothing really that should stop you getting to that level.
For sure, my man. So, how many creatives you testing each week? Just to know, yeah, I've we're testing 30, 50 creatives per week. Like, how many creatives would you say you're testing?
So not at 30 to 50, we're at about maybe 20, but we're building a system now to get to 30 to 50, and we're trying to build a system now where it's a completely new concept from scratch, as well as automatically pumping out iterations of what's already working. So new hooks, new actors, new scripts, but the actual concept of the ad might be the same. And then every week we're actually getting a completely new concept and getting new actors and doing that. One thing that's helped us is we've got a team of actors now, like 30 actors who have all got our products, all in the right customer avatar, and we pay them $50 and we get all raw content back. And we kind of got that from Marek, who's like, built that out in his team. We pretty much stole that for ourselves as well. And it's like helps no end. It's just like, something people have to, if you want to get high levels, because that's the first thing that burns out if you're spending whatever.
Man, I mean, so in terms of the creative, you said you have actors. Like, do you use your customers, or like do you just find people, paying them, let's say, $100 to be in those videos and kind of like send you the content?
Yes, I mean we've built out our own like little in-house kind of content studio now. So my business partner went and on job boards, acting boards, and then kind of just like spam DM people and close them by Messenger. And now we've got like a group of 50 actors and kind of trying to expand that to different countries now. A lot of them are Australian, so we're trying to get US now. German ones kind of expand their one funnels. It's actually like it is fairly straightforward and like the best thing I would say, go and look for out of work actors because they're not they're not paid that well. And if you're an out of work actor, you probably just want to put some food on the table, as bad as that is. And they're really good in front of camera, and they'll pretty much just say or do exactly what you want them to do. So we've moved away completely from working with influencers for content, just because they sometimes don't nail it, and they can be really expensive and difficult to work with. So actors for us being cheap, good in camera.
So actors, like, can you elaborate on that? Like, would you just Google like, hey, actors in like Melbourne, or like actors like?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're, that's pretty much it. It's acting job boards in cities like theatre. There'd be acting like an actor's job board in Miami. Let's say.
Oh, really? Wow, that's a good tip.
Yeah, like we'll go on that Facebook with a VA and basically go like, hey, we're and you want to sell it. So we're an e-commerce holding. We're looking to build our arsenal of actors to create compelling content for our brand. Here's some of the videos we produced, and like let's work together. And for us, found let them come to you with a price first. I guess like the old negotiation thing. Let's go with the price to them. It might be over what they were actually expecting. Let them do the price, and then barter and negotiate from there, and then close them and have your product. It's really easy to just send new scripts, new storyboards each week, and then just got a constant flow of creative. And then the creators that convert better than others, you just keep using them and double down.
Wow, man, that's such a good tip. That's such a good tip. So, okay, so let's say you have that. So you have, like you said, 30 people right now. That kind of like if you need more content, you just like, get in touch with them.
Correct. Yeah. So they've all pretty much got our product. We're trying to build it out more, and we're hiring for that position to just manage that whole area. Because people go on holiday, people drop off, so you want to be like, it's another area that needs to be managed. So we're hiring someone just to manage that completely and continue to replenish. If we have new products that have different avatars, obviously we need differences. So that's kind of like a task in itself, but It can start small with products that you're already working on, where you already know the avatar, and then just kind of
check it out. Check it out. Like find local actors and talent for hire. Because I mean, yeah, we also like influencers. You know, it's pretty much how we do stuff. And wow, man, like I haven't thought of it this way. That's nice. Like I mean, whatever. Like you need like genders, like right? Or you need female, or you need even like they even have trans female, trans male. Wow, let's say we need like let's say we need female, like age range. Say we need 50 plus. See if they have any like 50 plus. 32,000. Man, like 32,000. Like 32,000. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. I mean, a bunch. Like we go on Facebook groups as well.
Wow. It's incredible. Shit.
Unfortunately, for all these people, a lot of them need work. So, yeah.
Wow, man, that's such a good point. Like, so now, like, problems like with creative sourcing, like, solved.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's been.
Do you give them like a script? Do you give them kind of like, here is the example of what you should do, or like kind of like just create that kind of like sequence for them that they should like what they should do with the product or something like that?
Yeah, so we have like an SOP where videos, things that other creators have done, and then we also send them storyboards and scripts. So it's all pretty sort of idiot proof. Like if they, if they don't get it right with all our instructions, they're just kind of like not one we want to work with at the time. So yeah, we have kind of like an onboarding document, just like you're basically treating them like an employee and giving them like all the tools to do what you want them to do. So yeah.
Wow, this is amazing, man. This is amazing. Wow. Like, do you look yeah, let's answer this. What software do you use to create your advertorials from Lloyd? So is that ClickFunnels?
So we actually use Webflow.
Webflow, wow. Okay, Webflow. Oh, really? So is that like, so you're using that to create relanders and stuff?
Correct, yeah. Well, let me just plug my headphones in because I think a few people are saying about the audio. Hang on.
Uh-huh.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're using.
I think your internet is a bit weak. Like I don't know if you have like another like Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah. Let me swap to a different one. Give me 2 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Guys, yeah, we're just waiting for Paul to rejoin with another Wi-Fi. Hopefully, we'll have better connection, better sound. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I think very good tip, guys, is to find if you need content, you just find actors like locally or even like whatever even like United States, whenever. And you have these websites like backstage.com. Share my screen. So backstage.com, you literally have like tens of thousands of people like that you can hire. So let's say we need to hire like female, age 50 plus. Now we have like 32,000 candidates here, right? So all of these people, a lot of these people are not making a lot of money. They're looking for work. They're looking for interesting projects. So if you can sell it to them as an opportunity, then I mean, you literally have like tens of thousands of people that can potentially be your content creators. So you don't even have to rely on the influencers. And oh man, like, now it's totally no, it's still bad, I guess. Guys, can you hear Paul? Hello. My man, can we join just sound maybe? Like yeah, because the sound is, I guess there's a delay like in sound. Um it's still yeah. Oh,
My parents and Wi-Fi.
could you join through your phone? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Can you try to join maybe through your phone? Let's see if that will be better. Guys, I'm sorry about technical issues. But I mean, amazing conversation. Yeah, backstage. Someone asked like, what was the backstage about? Is about finding actors, right? So depending on kind of like what product you sell and what's your ideal like target audience, whether it's men or women, older, younger, you can find a lot of talent that you can literally hire, and also not very expensively to do the acting. So if you need like even like younger people, you have like you have here like 190 people, 190,000 people here that age between ages of like 18 and 20. So if you're selling to younger audience, and if you're selling, let's say, to older people, let's say 70 years old plus. Let's see here, 70 years old, 70. Yeah, we have like 13,000 people, 13,000 actors that are above like 70 years old. Yeah, so some older ladies here. So that's something that could be utilized for consistent content sourcing. All right, let's see here. See if Paul, can you hear me? Yeah, guys. In terms of funnels, yeah, just check my YouTube. Check my YouTube channel. I have plenty of videos about funnels. So yeah, just check out my exactly perfect UGC. You got this kind of like, I mean, unique actors that no one ever used, right? So your content will be fully unique, and yeah, very like different from other people. So that's an amazing tip. So you don't only have like Instagram influencers. In our business, we always like go after influencers, but I mean they're demanding, and also they're not kind of like, especially if they have bigger audiences, they're like, oh, I don't want to do this, or like, oh, I don't like it, or they charge too much. So here you have more flexibility. In terms of who you can hire, and those people are not that demanding because they're looking for projects, they're looking for work. So that's a great tip from Paul. Yeah, still waiting for Paul to rejoin us. Let me see here, Paul. Let me see here. Paul, can you hear me? Hello, Paul, can you hear me? Oh, okay, you can hear me, but I cannot hear you. Yeah, I cannot hear you. Let me see here. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi can ruin your life. If you have bad Wi-Fi, it's like literally game over. So if you're on e-commerce. Yeah, brief connection issues, guys. I'm sorry about. Is it on my side? Let me see. That's on my side. Oh, my connection is good. Yeah, let him join the chat. Yeah, hopefully we'll get Paul in a few seconds here, guys. Thank you for your patience. Paul, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh man, how do you? Oh, it's a bit better, I guess. A bit better. Man, this is like. Is that an issue in Australia? Like the connection?
Not really, but yeah, I have to have a word with them and get the. I'm back from interstate visiting and have been a few issues.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if let's see if we will be able to if we'll be able to kind of to continue. If you guys can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? No, yeah. People cannot hear. People cannot hear. I think the audio the audio is just too bad.
Yeah, let me try one more on my other laptop. If that's been, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll probably just reschedule. I guess we'll just reschedule. Okay. Maybe you'll find some space with good internet. But do you face internet issues day to day?
Not at all. No, it's not
Okay.
usually an issue here. But
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
What if I turn off camera and you turn off camera and we just if I just turn off the camera, if you try to so can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Guys, can you hear us? If that's only sound, can you hear us? Paul, can you say something like Ozzy to the world, or can you say Aussies rule the world?
Say that again. Aussies
Rule the world.
Aussies rule the world.
Yes. Yeah. So let's see, guys. Yeah, I mean, Paul just was talking. I don't know, guys, if you cannot hear. Man, I don't know what is this. Really hard. Yeah, people say really hard to hear you, man. Really hard to hear you. So, man, I think we'll probably reschedule or something.
Yeah, we might have to. I'll try and sort the Wi-Fi out.
Yeah, and we will test before we go live. We will test. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, even on my side. So it's kind of checking. It shows. I'll send you this. It shows that network on your side is a bit weak. Network connection here, guys. I mean, yeah, we are. We'll probably reschedule this. But I mean, we'll drop polls if you want to connect with Paul, ask him questions and stuff. We'll drop his Instagram, and Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, great interview. Regardless, ton of gems in this brief talk. So, yeah, Paul, thank you so much for, man. I mean, and I kept you waiting. Like, jeez, and
Oh, my bad. The internet. So yeah,
man.
sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, so we will reschedule it somehow, and we'll also we'll reschedule it, man, so you didn't have to wait until midnight. Like, we'll reschedule it. I'll wait until midnight, but you don't have to wait until midnight next time. So
Okay, you wait till midnight, and I'll try and get some internet that actually work.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be cool. Guys, yeah, thank you so much for joining. I mean, even though it was a very choppy connection, but I mean, great insights. Yeah, even that one thing, it was worth it. Even for me, it was backstage, just one of the websites, but finding local actors who can do the content for you. So now you don't have problem with sourcing content, unique content, custom content, whatever you call it. So that one thing by itself was worth it, and also utilizing funnels. I think next time we'll just go very deep on that and kind of we'll break down some good funnels. But yeah, we need a good connection for that. So, man, guys, we'll announce when the call will happen. But yeah, Paul, thank you so much, my man, for joining, for waiting until midnight.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about the internet connection.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you, Paul. See you guys.
Later.